Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. Excuse the big shard of sunlight coming in here. It's lovely that it's sunny, but now that I'm filming in the afternoons, I am getting a different sort of light situation going on. So hopefully it doesn't move too quickly while I'm sitting here, so that it doesn't really interfere with the color or with getting glare in my eyes or anything. So we'll see how we go. This past weekend was Mother's Day, so I hope all the mothers had a lovely time. I totally forgot to mention it in last week's episode. My mum spent her Mother's Day sitting in the sun reading a book, but she did come up to the farm the day before. So on the Saturday, and we spent some time together. We went for a walk, made her a cup of coffee, and we played around with burning a pile that was over in the bush by the creek that we had been collecting throughout the summer that needed to be burnt, but it had rained the day before, so it was a very damp pile. So it ended up being mostly smoke and not a lot of flames, but she still had fun anyway, and we had a nice day together. The other thing that happened this past week was all of the news and hype and excitement about the Aurora Australis being viewable in the skies at night. So obviously I went outside to try and have a look. The rest of my family were away in Creswick, and they were sending me these amazing pictures of really bright pink and orange skies, and they said that it was really, really clear from the naked eye. So I went outside and it was like black. I'm like, what's going on? They're saying, are you looking south? I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely looking south. I know which way south is, like, got my bearings and know the area sort of thing. And it was just kind of like the south was a bit like lighter, but not like, sort of looked like the sun had set and it was just a bit of a glow. It was nothing, no color or anything like that. So I put my phone up and I got some really awful images of green and orange, but really far off in the distance. It was like it was happening somewhere else and not here at the farm. I feel like sometimes we're in a little bit of a weird vortex here. We have really bad phone reception. Often we get rain and storms that no one else gets, or we get no rain and everyone else is getting rain. So it's sort of like felt like the whole magnetic field had kind of missed us somehow. And so I was sort of seeing it from a distance, but not in any way spectacular like lots of other people did. So that's what happened. Nothing else really to report farm wise. The sheep are doing really well, and the grass in both of their paddocks seems to be continuing to grow slightly quicker than they're able to eat it. So that's good. So they're enjoying their hay, and they're also still enjoying green grass. It's not getting long like everywhere else, but it is continuing to grow, and there's enough in there to keep them happy. I did another big batch of sock yarn this week, which is all currently just finishing drying in the sun. I've just opened the door to the shed, so I've got a bit of a breeze coming in as well now. So even though it is sunny in the afternoons and I get the heat and the sun coming through the windows, it is taking much longer to dry now. So I do have to make sure that I come over and sort of move it and rotate it around so that it does completely dry. So I have to wait a few days in between dye batches so that I can rotate through the drying system as well. But I have a few to show you. They're not quite dry yet, but almost dry. So I have sea green, uh, winter sunrise, while the sun shines, jewel sea, and rainbow gold. So these will need to dry for probably another 2 days, I would think. They're still quite damp. I don't like to reskein them until I know for sure that they're 100% dry. So I'll get the labels ready for these, and I still need to label and reskein the olive that I dyed last week. Otherwise, I've been really good with keeping on top of doing that reskeining and labeling as everything comes off the drying racks. So now I think I'm at the point where I probably need to unpack all of my tubs. I've left them packed from the last market. Probably need to now get everything out again and do a bit of a resort, bring in the stuff that I have dyed since then, make sure that it is in my point of sale system, and then kind of figure out how I'm going to display things at the next market. So that is the Victorian Knitters and Crocheters Guild at the Coburg Town Hall, and it is a 2-day market. And I'm thinking what I'd like to do is I have a double stall. I think I'd like to display things a little bit more like samples with their colorway, like sort of stacked near it. So I kind of have to figure out how I'm going to do that and make the space for it, as well as having my hanging racks. So yeah, I think I need to unpack everything, do a little bit of experimenting with how things are going to look, and then pack it all back so that it's ready to go. Then I'll be able to see what else I need to dye up, if anything. The other thing that I need to do is to make up some more scrap packs. I think particularly I'd like to do some DK scrap packs. I've been as I've been making things with my DK yarn, I've been putting aside some of the colorways that I have little bits left over from. So I'm going to make up some packs of those. So I'm excited to have those for my stall. And I think that's about everything that's going on at the moment. So just remember to check out the link below to my markets and events so you can see where I'll be. First to what I'm wearing this week, I decided that I would pop on one of my hand knit jumpers. This is the Comfy, which is in the 52 Weeks of Easy Knits book. And it is out of my yarn. It is the teal, not green colorway, and then wildflowers in the wispy lace. So it's lace and a DK held double, and it's in a sort of like a fisherman's rib all over, and you can see how the increases are done. There's sort of like V's across the front here. So it sits really nicely. The yoke sits really well. It's a very warm, comfortable jumper to wear. This is the first opportunity I've had to wear it because I finished it in November last year. So when it was too hot to actually even try on, it was pretty gross at that time to put it on to just get the length right. But yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I'm definitely going to be getting some good wear out of it over these coming months. Well, I have a finished object this week. Last week I showed you that I had started the blockchain mitts by Susan Distel, and they are completely finished. Oh, I just need to actually clip the ends. They are actually woven in. So they were a really quick knit. Didn't take me that many evenings at all. I hardly worked on them much, it felt like. Easy pattern to follow and really effective in terms of creating a really nice effect with a variegated yarn. They are really warm because there are slip stitches in this. You've almost got a double fabric on the hand, so it is lovely and warm. I've actually been putting them on. I had them on last night after I finished them. I didn't count the ribbed rows or the at the top. I just kind of eyeballed it. I mean, I counted them after I did it. I didn't like, tick them off as I went. But the gusset section, as I told you last week, in the pattern, there's like a grid for you to fill out as you go with the patterning and the increases so that you get your thumb increases and the pattern correct. And it was really easy to follow and keep track of. So I just really love how they turned out, and I'm looking forward to wearing those on my stall now. And probably will make another pair in some other yarn and see how the effect of the slip stitches comes up in those pattern as well. So the Blockchain Mitts by Susan Distel, and this is my yarn, my Flourish DK, in the berries colorway. After I showed you the singles I had on the bobbin last week, I went ahead and wound them off and then washed them. I'm really pleased. As you can see, there isn't a lot of twist in the bottom there, so it's relaxed out really nicely and it looks nice and even. I don't know how much yardage I got yet. I haven't counted. What I need to do is count each of the strands on one side and then multiply it out because I know what the circumference of my skein winder is. So then I can figure out how much I've got. but it looks like it's plumped up nice and softly to, it's mostly DK to worsted, somewhere around there. There are thick and thin parts, but it's reasonably consistent. So it's really quite pretty. Just spin it a little bit so you can see there. So I don't have anything else on the spinning wheel right now, but yeah, I'm happy with this, and now I need to find a project that I can use it with. And as I showed you last week, I'm still working on the mosaic shawl as well. I worked on the mitts for a couple of evenings, and then this I just picked up again yesterday. I'm actually recording a couple of days earlier than I did last week, so the time, but ending time in between hasn't been quite as big. So hopefully next week there'll be some significant progress. I'm not sure if I'm going to work on anything else or if I'll just focus on this for a little while. So I mean, I'm a fair way through. I'm not sure how many more sections there are after this one. We'll go this way. This way. And it is the Potion colorway by Owl of Athena. The white is Tea in the Garden by the Yarn Trader, and the grey blue is the One of a Kind colorway by Bomb Yarns. So yeah, still really loving working on this, and at the moment really the only thing that I'm actively working on apart from my stripy socks, which are in my work bag and I didn't bring down to show. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.